Money is not physical, but energetic. Wealth flows not from what you do, but from what you are. That declaration is the doorway to everything that follows, and it sets the stage for a journey where money stops being coins and bills and starts becoming a vibration you can feel moving through your life. What if abundance has been inside you all along, waiting only for your recognition? This is not a new skill to be learned, but an ancient memory to be recalled. The sages of old whispered it. The mystics encoded it in symbols, and today you stand at the threshold of remembering. As you listen now, you are being invited into a lineage that stretches back through centuries. Imagine a chain of voices, each one carrying forward the same truth. Abundance is your natural state. Just as a flower never asks how to bloom, you need not beg to prosper. The energy of wealth responds to your alignment, to the quality of your vibration, to the way you stand in remembrance of who you already are. This book, this narration, is not about strategies or hustle. It is a key, one that unlocks the hidden chambers of prosperity within your own consciousness. Consider the story of Eleanor, a humble shopkeeper in an old marketplace. Each morning she counted her coins, believing that money was hard, finite, and scarce. Her heart carried the weight of limitation, until one dawn a traveler told her that wealth is like water, flowing wherever consciousness directs it. When she stopped grasping and began opening, her reality shifted. The shop did not change, but she did. Where once she saw scarcity, she began to sense a river of abundance moving invisibly through her life. This is the first mirror. Money follows resonance, not effort. Or think of Harold, the mail carrier who whistled joyful tunes though his income was small. His vibration carried the song of prosperity long before fortune appeared in his account. One day, an inheritance arrived unexpectedly, yet nothing within him truly changed, because wealth had already been living in his energy. He teaches us that abundance manifests externally only after it has already taken root internally. These stories are not moral lessons about luck. They are evidence of an ageless truth. Prosperity is an alignment, a frequency you inhabit, and reality mirrors it back. Practice. Pause right now, close your eyes, and imagine money not as metal or paper, but as golden light streaming toward you. Let it arrive without strain, without calculation, simply because energy returns to its source. Hold that vision until it feels alive in your body. This is not imagination, it is remembrance. The more you align with this current, the more naturally abundance circulates. From here, the journey deepens into the ancient flow itself. How gratitude expands the wellspring, how surrender opens channels, and how letting go of control actually multiplies prosperity. These stories will show that money is not outside of you to be chased, but inside of you to be allowed. We now step into that deeper current together. Scarcity is not the natural condition of life. It is a spell passed down through generations. A story repeated so often it feels like truth. Inherited beliefs shape our relationship with money long before we hold our first coin. Many of us were raised with whispers like, "Nothing comes easy," or "People like us never get ahead." These statements were never cosmic law. They were echoes of fear, repeated until they hardened into chains. To walk into prosperity, you must first see those chains for what they are. Borrowed burdens you are free to release. Picture Frank, the shoemaker who spent his days crafting leather with extraordinary skill, yet repeated his father's mantra each night. You must suffer to earn your keep. He believed money could only come through struggle, so his business stayed small, his heart heavy. Contrast him with Ruth, a weaver who carried the same inherited doubts until one autumn morning, she saw leaves swirling effortlessly in the wind. She realized scarcity was not her truth. It was a script from ancestors who had lived in fear. When she stopped repeating those lines, new doors opened. Patrons sought her work, markets spread her designs, and prosperity flowed once she returned what was never hers to carry. These stories mirror an ageless truth. Scarcity is not real. It is remembered fear. Practice. Take your journal and write down 5 scarcity phrases you've heard in your family. See each phrase as a dark thread. Imagine gathering those threads, then burning them into golden light. Feel the weight lift as you return what was never yours. This is how ancestral scarcity is transmuted, by recognition and release. Yet another shadow blocks prosperity: the resistance to receiving. Marvin, a teacher beloved by his students, turned away every gift with polite refusal. He believed virtue was only in giving, never receiving. But in his dreams he saw flowers withering, not for lack of sunlight, but for their refusal to open to it. Receiving is not greed. It is the other half of the sacred cycle. The universe breathes through give and take. To refuse to receive is to dam the river. Cutting off the flow meant not only for you, but also for those you are destined to bless. Edith, a merchant, prospered greatly, yet shrank from every gain, whispering, "Who am I to have so much?" Her guilt dishonored the very energy that sought to move through her. The truth is that receiving is an act of trust, an affirmation that you are part of the universal dance. When you open your hands to receive, you open them also to give more fully. Practice. Stand before a mirror, hand on your heart, and say aloud, "It is safe to receive. I am worthy now." Let the words echo until they dissolve the ancient shame. Feel your cells resonate with permission. Flow is restored when both giving and receiving are honored. This is the sacred law of exchange. Think of Raymond, a blacksmith who hoarded his wealth only to feel emptier each day. When he finally began giving freely, teaching apprentices, mending tools without charge, prosperity multiplied through customers and opportunities. Or Lillian, who gave her last loaf of bread to a hungry traveler, only to receive an inheritance that very night. Money, like breath, must circulate. To hold it tightly is to suffocate it. To release it is to keep it alive. These stories mirror a cosmic rhythm. Abundance flows where trust opens channels. When you grasp, you restrict. When you give with joy, you declare to the universe that you believe in infinite supply. Practice. Choose one act of giving today. Offer time, resources, or energy with no attachment to return. Notice the joy that comes from release. That joy itself is wealth multiplying through you. As this part closes, remember, scarcity is a spell you can undo. Receiving is as holy as giving, and circulation keeps energy pure. Prosperity expands not through control, but through flow. And now, as we move forward, we will explore how your very thoughts and emotions become magnets, shaping reality itself, tuning you to the wealth frequency. Your mind is not just a theater for passing thoughts. It is a transmitter, constantly broadcasting a signal to the universe. Every thought, every belief, every emotional tone carries a frequency that attracts its match. This is why some people seem to get lucky again and again, while others struggle despite hard work. The difference is not always action, but alignment. Prosperity answers the vibration you send out. Take Dorothy, the pianist who no longer played as she once did. Each morning she spoke affirmations aloud, hesitant at first. I am a magnet for abundance. Wealth flows to me naturally. At first, the words felt hollow, but gradually her conviction deepened. Just as music once filled her concert halls, her words began filling her life. She had tapped the law of mental magnetism. Speak, feel, believe, and the universe rearranges itself in response. Eugene, the shopkeeper, lived the opposite lesson. His thoughts swirled with worry. There's never enough. Business is always slow. Those words broadcast a field of lack, and the universe echoed it back with dwindling customers and rising bills. Only when he shifted his self-talk. My shop attracts perfect customers. I am worthy of success. Did opportunities unfold? His reality shifted not from new tactics, but from a new signal. These stories mirror an ageless truth. The mind is magnetic, and its broadcast sets the tone for prosperity. Practice. Write 3 affirmations that match your highest vision of wealth. Speak them aloud while imagining golden waves of light radiating from your heart. The energy you send out is the seed of the abundance that will return. Yet words alone are not enough. Your feelings charge them. Emotion is currency. Gilbert, grieving his wife, had closed himself off from abundance. But one autumn morning, gratitude broke through as he whispered, "Thank you," to the beauty of falling leaves. That single shift of emotion opened channels that had long been sealed. Opal, humming joyfully at her sewing table, attracted customers simply by radiating light. Their circumstances changed because their inner state did. Practice. Each evening, keep an emotional balance sheet. Record your deposits, moments of joy, gratitude, peace, and your withdrawals, worry, doubt, anger. Over time, notice how emotional wealth precedes financial wealth. This is the principle of frequency. Joan, once a dancer, kept moving simply for joy. Without striving, students appeared, invitations flowed, and prosperity followed. Stanley, a weary shopkeeper, shifted by practicing gratitude each morning. His store transformed not because of a business plan, but because he felt abundant first. Joy is not the result of wealth. It is the magnet for it. Doris embodied this principle by living 30 days as if she were already abundant, walking with confidence, treating herself with worth. By day 30, her world had transformed. Promotions, debts forgiven, opportunities unexpected. Leonard, the pianist, discovered the same truth when he played from love instead of fear. His music drew abundance as if the universe had been waiting for the right vibration. These stories mirror a cosmic law. Tune yourself first, and the external world must harmonize. Practice. Begin a wealth frequency routine. In the morning, move your body with grace for 5 minutes. At midday, write notes of gratitude for even the smallest blessings. Before sleep, visualize yourself as light radiating prosperity into the world. Each act is a tuning fork that sets your daily vibration. Here lies the paradox. Most chase wealth by effort, but the universe listens to resonance. Your thoughts, your emotions, your frequency form the blueprint of your reality. When you vibrate scarcity, you repel abundance. When you vibrate joy, gratitude, and trust, you draw it effortlessly. As we step forward, we leave behind the illusion that money is controlled by numbers alone. The truth is deeper. Worthiness, alignment, and trust in unseen currents are what sustain prosperity. Next, we will walk into that partnership with the universe itself, where worth, circulation, and surrender open the gates to instant manifestation. Prosperity cannot be forced by grasping hands. It comes when your sense of worth rises to meet it. Deep inside every person lies a thermostat of deservingness, quietly setting the ceiling for how much abundance they will allow. Walter rebuilt his mill twice, only to watch it slip away. His skill was unmatched, but his hidden conviction was that he did not deserve lasting success. The universe simply mirrored his belief. Pearl, on the other hand, spent years apologizing for wanting more, until one morning she stopped diminishing her vision. Within months, her dress shop blossomed into the town's finest boutique. These stories mirror an ageless truth. Wealth flows not to those who chase it, but to those who believe they are worthy to receive it. Practice. Place your hand over your heart, feel its rhythm, and affirm, I am worthy of wealth. I am worthy now. Let the words settle until they feel like fact. Worthiness is not earned. It is remembered. The flow of money also follows a law as old as breath: circulation. Arthur clung to his savings after losing his job, counting his dwindling numbers with fear. Only when he gave to his ill sister did new opportunities appear. Freelance work that paid more than his old job. Jeanette gave away a vase to her neighbor, sparking a chain of generosity that grew into a catering business. Money must move as blood does, or it stagnates. To hoard is to suffocate. To circulate is to multiply. Practice. Choose a financial gesture today that symbolizes trust. Share, donate, or invest with joy. Feel the energy of circulation moving through you. Sometimes abundance arrives with astonishing speed when you remove doubt. Otis, a monk who lived in silence, visualized abundance without clinging to it. Within days, seeds, tools, and donations poured into his monastery. Virginia thanked the universe for a retreat she had not yet attended. 3 weeks later, a benefactor paid her way. These stories reveal an eternal principle. Manifestation bends to the clarity of your vision and the purity of your trust. Practice. Write a miracle list of 10 desires. Speak each as already fulfilled, saying, "It already is." The feeling of completion is the magnet, yet prosperity often appears through doors you could never plan. Stan, an engineer, mapped every financial path only to be laid off. Forced to surrender, he opened to an unexpected partnership that suited him perfectly. Estelle, a seamstress, whispered, "I trust you, universe," and later received a shop from a stranger who felt guided to gift it. These stories show that the how is not your domain. Your role is alignment. The universe orchestrates the channels. Practice. Take one area where you've been clinging to control. Breathe deeply and say aloud, "I allow the universe to show me a better way." Feel the relief as the burden lifts. These threads, worthiness, circulation, instant manifestation, surrender, form the fabric of partnership with the cosmos. The universe responds not to desperation, but to trust. It mirrors your belief about yourself and surprises you when you release the need to dictate every detail. As this section closes, hold the realization. Abundance is not hunted down. It is invited through alignment. You are not powerless in the face of money. You are the partner of the very intelligence that guides it. And now, in the final movement, we will see what it means to embody this truth completely, to become the source, to ripple wealth outward, and to live the golden life already present in every breath. There comes a moment when the search ends and recognition begins. The deepest secret of prosperity is this: you are not separate from wealth. You are not chasing it outside yourself. You are the very source through which abundance flows. Lloyd, a minister, spent years preaching providence while doubting his own right to prosper. One dawn, in stillness, He realized he was not merely a receiver but an embodiment of abundance itself. From that day forward, his congregation flourished, not because his actions changed, but because his state of being did. Delilah, a bookshop owner, saw the same truth. Every wave of success or struggle in her store was a mirror of her own consciousness. When she owned her role as source, her shop became a beacon of prosperity. These stories mirror an ageless truth. The river of abundance flows through you because you are the river. Practice. Stand tall, hand on your chest, and affirm, I am the source. The universe expresses wealth through me. Wealth, when understood this way, naturally ripples outward. Nancy, in her later years, funded an art studio for children. The joy in their eyes was her return on investment. Clarence, a shopkeeper, quietly saved to build a community center. Though he never saw its completion, generations later, it still stands as a ripple of his vision. True wealth is measured not by accumulation, but by what you set in motion. When you let your prosperity serve others, it multiplies beyond your lifetime. Practice. Write one way your current or future wealth can ripple outward to bless others. Begin the ripple now, no matter how small. The golden life is not a distant future. It is already here. Henrietta, once plagued by rejection, came to see abundance in morning tea, in waves at the shore. As she lived from inner wealth, material prosperity followed naturally. Franklin discovered the same during coffee with an old friend. His bank account had not changed, but his perception shifted. Suddenly, he realized he was already living the golden life. These stories mirror a timeless truth. Abundance begins in recognition. When you notice the wealth in the moment, external prosperity cannot help but align. Practice. Create 3 daily rituals of presence. Light a candle at dawn and whisper gratitude. Walk as if every step is on golden ground. Smile intentionally, knowing joy is a magnet. These acts anchor you in the golden life now. And so we arrive at the conclusion. Money is energy, flowing according to alignment. Scarcity is a spell that dissolves in awareness. Worthiness opens gates that hustle cannot. Circulation, gratitude, and surrender turn ordinary lives into extraordinary channels of prosperity. You are not the seeker of abundance. You are its embodiment. You are the magnet. You are the gold. You are the river. Let this not be information stored away, but practice lived daily. These rituals are not chores. They are gateways, tuning you again and again to the frequency of prosperity. Every breath, every thought, every act can be aligned with abundance. That alignment is wealth itself. Final practice. Each morning, take 30 seconds to feel yourself as the river of gold. Say aloud, I am abundance now. In that moment, you are not chasing wealth. You are welcoming it. Abundance is your natural state. Trust it, embody it, let it ripple outward. The golden life is not waiting in the distance. It is pulsing here, ready to be recognized. Step forward, not as one who hopes, but as one who knows. The river flows eternally, and you are that river. The journey we have shared is not truly finished, for abundance is infinite, and its lessons circle endlessly. What you have heard are reminders, doorways to truths you already carried in your soul. The essence is simple yet profound. Money follows energy. It does not bow to fear. It does not obey calculation. It responds to vibration. You have learned that joy, gratitude, and trust are currencies as real as dollars. You have seen that scarcity is a shadow cast by old stories, and you have remembered that worthiness is not earned. It is your birthright. To live abundantly is to practice daily alignment. The practices given, affirmations, emotional balance sheets, acts of giving, rituals of presence, are not tasks to complete once and forget. They are like breath, repeated, sustaining, renewing. Each repetition strengthens the field around you, making prosperity not a chase but a natural condition. You are not meant to live in constant struggle. You are meant to flow, to circulate, to shine. The sages spoke of the river of gold because they knew abundance is not a destination, it is a state of being. And when you live from that state, wealth in all its forms, money, opportunities, relationships, fulfillment, moves toward you as naturally as water downhill. So take this wisdom into your mornings and evenings. Let every sunrise remind you that energy renews itself. Let every breath remind you that circulation sustains life. Let every act of joy remind you that you are already wealthy. Abundance is your natural state. Alignment is your language. Practice is your anchor. You are the magnet. You are the gold. You are the river.